Why?
Ugh. This week we have the sequel to Red Game without a great name. Green Game. Timeswapper. At least this time they sort of gave it a name. The game starts out with a cutscene showing the bird from the first game undergoing some sort of weird operation where they take his wings off, the feathers out, and they take him all the way down to being a skeleton. And then he just magically reappears looking exactly the same. Which makes you wonder why go through all that operation and surgery. Regardless, it leads us to our main point and theme of this game, which is pointless. This game is pointless, all the way from the idea of the story to the idea that a sequel even needed to be made in general. This game is a bit different than Red Game because you no longer get to click and drag the bird anymore. In this game, you just simply allow the bird to fly, and you alter his direction by turning vents on and off, which blow him in different directions throughout the level. Vents, they only come on and off when they are in the correct time period though, so you have to slide your finger up or to the left or to the right or down to activate these vents. If you activate the vents in the correct order, then congratulations, you've helped the bird escape once again from his cage to another cage. Now this game does do a little bit of an upgrade. You're no longer escaping from a rusty old metal cage to another rusty old metal cage. Now you escape from a glass cage to yet another glass cage. But this also tends to point us into the theme of our game, which is pointless, because this is yet another pointless adventure for the bird and for the player. This game has about 30 levels and gets redundant really fast because all the levels are almost exactly the same, just longer as you go. The game feels like it was rushed because nearly everything about the game design is the same as it was in Red Game. The levels, the characters, and the sprites, they look almost identical to the first game, except the background, instead of being red, it's now green. It's like they took the first game, tweaked how to move the birds just ever so slightly, then changed the background to green, and presto, new game to sell on the eShop. How Red Game ever even got a sequel is beyond me, but this does live up to the franchise, but that's not really a good thing in this case. I honestly just can't wait until they start pumping out Blue Game, Purple Game, on and on. Next up we have Not-Not, the game that makes it a personal mission to ensure you know how double negatives work. You are a man trapped on a cube with commands of where to go. You have to push the corresponding command within the time to proceed, or you will lose a life. You also lose a life for pushing the wrong command, lose all 3 lives, and you have to restart the cube. As you progress from level to level, the commands do get more complex, putting in double negatives, triple negatives, colors, and a variety of little tricks. This keeps the game feeling fresh as you progress, but never gets super deep because the game ultimately is just a click game with directions to follow. It would make an excellent mobile game, but it's hard to justify paying for this game at all. The bracket is pretty easy for me to decide on because I do not like the varying color games that iFun4All continues to put out. They are overly simple, they never change throughout the entire experience, and honestly, they're just sort of boring games. With Not-Not, it is also very simple, but as you progress, the game does change a bit throughout to keep you slightly more engaged. So for this round, Not-Not is going to get to move on and win this bracket. It is a simple game indeed, but does try to get the experience to stay fresh for longer, and it's more visually appealing as well. Plus, it doesn't have the knockback on handheld mode only. So congratulations to Not-Not. You will advance to the next round. Tune in next week for round 7 of Champion of the Cheap, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.